Hey, Tea Squad, and welcome to Dropping the True Crime Tea, the show where we brew up the darkest cases, the coldest clues, and the mysteries that still haunt the shadows. I'm your host, Kirsty, and today's story isn't just unsettling, it's devastating. It's the kind of case that makes you wonder just how many secrets can be buried behind a locked front door, or, in this case, one that was left eerily open. Today we're traveling back to the city of Plymouth, England, to a quiet terraced home, a devout widow, and a murder that remains unsolved to this day. This is the story of Esther Soper, a woman of deep faith, mysterious silence, and a death that left police baffled for nearly 50 years. This episode contains themes of violence and religious isolation, so listener discretion is advised. Let's dive in. Esther Soper was a 52-year-old widow living alone in Mutley, a peaceful suburb in Plymouth. She was part of a strict religious sect known as the Exclusive Brethren. Think of them as a deeply devout, tightly closed-off community where outsiders, even family, were often cut off for good. Her ties to this sect were strong, so strong in fact that after her father remarried, Esther never spoke to him again. She'd also cut ties with her daughter, who lived in the same city but wasn't part of the Brethren. Her faith dictated everything: what she wore, who she spoke to, what she allowed into her home. And that included never owning a television, a radio, or even eating with non-Brethren members. So when she didn't show up to a prayer meeting on New Year's Day, her community knew something was very wrong. Two friends from the Brethren went to her home to check on her. They found the front door unlocked. They stepped inside, and that's when they saw it. Esther was lying on the floor of her hallway, wrapped in her own curtains. She had been bludgeoned to death with a glass cider bottle and then strangled with her own nylon stockings. It was a brutal, intimate, and incredibly violent attack. Now, here's where things get even more chilling. There were no signs of forced entry. Nothing of value had been taken. And most unsettling of all, her home had been ransacked, but not in the way a burglar would do it. It was messy, but too convenient. Like someone staged the scene to look like a robbery. Police quickly ruled out theft as a motive. Esther didn't have much to steal. The Brethren don't allow luxuries. It looked more like someone had attacked her with a plan. And one name kept popping up: Clifford Sparks. Clifford Sparks had allegedly been scheduled to view Esther's home that day. It was up for sale. She was hoping to downsize. But here's the twist. Police searched high and low and couldn't find any trace of this man. Not in Plymouth, not in the UK, nowhere. Either this man gave a fake name, or he never existed. Some even suggested that her estate agent made him up to make the house seem more appealing. But if that's true, who did she let in that day? Police interviewed over 30,000 people. The case became one of the largest manhunts the region had ever seen. Yet, no one was arrested. No suspects, no motives, just questions. Years later, the case was reopened with fresh forensic technology. Esther's clothing and the murder weapon were tested for DNA, but again, nothing. No trace of her killer. It seemed whoever committed this crime knew exactly what they were doing. They wore gloves, they cleaned up, they left no trace. Now, let's talk about what really makes this case so haunting: the religious context. The Exclusive Brethren isn't just a church, it's a lifestyle. One that cuts people off from the outside world. When someone leaves or breaks the rules, they're shunned. Completely. That includes spouses, siblings, even parents and children. Some independent researchers believe Esther might have been planning to leave the church, or at least move away from that congregation. Her house was up for sale. She might have been preparing for a new chapter. Could someone have seen that as a betrayal? Others believe it was someone from the inside. Maybe a member of the church. Maybe someone she trusted. After all, there were no signs of forced entry. And who else could she have let in, given how strict her beliefs were? But here's the official stance. Police say they found no evidence linking the Brethren to her murder. Nothing concrete, just theories, just silence. Still, after the murder, the Brethren reportedly changed their rules, forbidding members from living alone. It makes you wonder, did they know more than they let on? As of today, the case remains unsolved. No DNA, no witness, no justice. Esther's name occasionally pops up in local media, especially on anniversaries. She's remembered as a kind, quiet woman, a mother, a grandmother, a believer, and a victim of one of England's most baffling murders. If you're listening and you know anything, even a rumor, Devon and Cornwall police still welcome tips. Sometimes all it takes is one person, one moment of courage, to crack a cold case wide open. Thank you for joining me today for this heartbreaking case. If you found this episode as chilling as I did, make sure to hit that follow button and drop us a 5-star review. It really helps more tea lovers find their way to the kettle. If you want more deep dives like this, let me know. Your feedback keeps this channel going. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep sipping the truth.